Hey guys, it's Susan. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a really fantastic day. So far, so good over this way. Today I want to show you how you can use your scrap wire in jewelry making, how you can actually make a crystal and pearl cluster earring. So I've got a bucket of scrap wire, and what you can do when you dig into this is look for pieces that are similar in color. So you don't want to use, obviously, a copper and a gold. You want the color to be the same. So when you pick out your scrap wire, all the colors should be the same hue, and that would look nice on your earring. So I've got scrap wire here from my bucket, and I'm going to show you how to make a head pin and also how to put the cluster earring together using a coin pearl and these are like little mauve colored freshwater pearls. I've got some white freshwater pearls, some gray freshwater pearls, and then I've got a bunch of these little crystals. These are rondelles. These are probably, excuse me, I'd say 5mm. But let me just check. Yeah, these are 5mm crystal rondelles. And then I've got some green. I want to put some green in there. I think green, pink, and gray look really nice together. So I'm going to use some green. And I think that's all I'm going to use. So let's get started. I forgot to mention that we'll also need another crystal, a larger crystal for our earring, and another rondelle for our earring. And I'll show you what we're going to do with these. For tools, we'll need our chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and our flesh cutters. So we have 3 white freshwater pearls. We've got 3 mauve, 2 of the gray, 3 crystal rondelles. We've got 3 green, and I also am going to use another one, a mauve colored one, because I need one for the dangle. So total together, we're going to need 15 head pins. I'm also going to need a piece of 22 gauge wire that I cut 4 inches. So let me move this aside and show you what I'm going to do with the 4-inch piece of wire. I'm going to make an eye pin at the bottom, press it down, come around and make a loop. Take it out, so I've got the beginning of my loop, but now I want to bring my pliers back in, and I want to break the neck because I want the loop to look like a lollipop, more centered. So let me just close that back up. So now I've got more of a centered loop. I'm going to put my coin pearl right through there. Now we have the beginning of our earring. Now what we need to do with our scrap wire is we need to use our chain nose pliers, come in at the tip, and we're going to make a head pin. So I'm going to push the wire around like that. So it's not completely closed. I'm not coming all the way around to the end. I've got a little opening there. And then I'm going to pinch it down with my chain nose pliers. And this can be a little tricky sometimes because your pliers might slip off, but just persevere and you will be able to smash that little end down to form your head pin. So I'm going to do that on all 12 of them because I need 12 head pins. So I'm going to get all of these done and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, I've got all of my head pins rounded off and squished down. Now I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. So I've got a head pin. I've got my pearl. I'm going to put it through. And now what I need to do is make a loop on the top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and push it back, and I can just use my fingernail. So I'm going to push it straight back. Then I'm going to cut. So I have about 1 centimeter of wire right in here. Cut. And then using my round nose pliers, I'm going to roll to make my loop. Like that. So I have to do that for all of my pearls and my crystals. So I'm going to just keep going, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, I've got all of these done. I have 3 of the mauve pearls, 3 green crystals, 3 of the white freshwater pearls, 3 crystal clear rondelles, and 2 of the gray pearls. And I've got a bunch of scrap wire that I cut. So this is going back into my bucket of scrap wire. And it's really good to save this stuff because you never know when you're going to need a piece of wire for something, and you've got it right here. You don't need to use your roll, and saves money. Okay, now I'm going to start assembling them. Let me get my coin pearl. I've got my flat rondelle, my crystal rondelle. I'm going to put that on the top of my coin pearl, and then in no particular order, I'm going to go start adding my beads. I think I'll start with the green one, and what you just have to look at is the loops. So this is the bottom of the crystal, and the actual loop that we made with our pliers is this one, and this is what we're going to put through our wire. So you have to kind of look at the crystals and your pearls to find the loop. Then I'll put this one through. I'm going to go ahead and get a mauve. These are really pretty freshwater pearls. If you can get a really nice strand of pearls, I would recommend that you do that. It's really worth it to have a really nice strand that doesn't have a lot of dings and cracks and separation. So I'm going to go ahead and stack on all my pearls and my crystals in no particular order, just kind of whatever strikes my fancy. And I've got one more pearl, and then what I have to do is I have to add a top crystal to here to kind of set it all in place. This is where I'm going to use the big crystal to put that on the top, but I think that that's actually too big, so I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go with the flatter rondelle that I just used at the base of my cluster. This one, I'm going to use the same one at the top. So switch it out, put that in, set that in place, and I think that looks better. It's not so conspicuous as the large crystal sticking up there on the top. So I'm going to kind of twist it around, get the right proportions of the crystals and the pearls that I want. I think that looks pretty good. And then I can go ahead and wrap the top. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the wire to the back to start my loop. And then cut. So I have about 1 centimeter of wire to make my loop. Then I'm going to pinch the wire down and roll it towards me. So I have my loop. I'm going to go ahead and open up my lever back by twisting it. And then hang on my earring and close it back down. Now I need to put my dangle on. So I've got my little pearl dangle. I'm going to open up the loop by twisting it, and then I'll hang it on the base of my pearl. Twist that back down to close it. And there we have it. So pretty. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for joining me. See you again next time.